When Anna and her 7-year-old daughter are found sleeping in their car, a lonely millionaire offers them shelter. But when he vanishes and suspicion falls on Anna, a hidden key reveals a truth that could save or destroy them all. Before we get into the story, comment below where in the world you are watching from today. Ana Martinez stared at the gas gauge hovering near empty. Another night sleeping in the car loomed ahead, and her paycheck was still 3 days away. She glanced in the rearview mirror at Sophia, her 7-year-old daughter, who was coloring quietly in her notebook, seemingly unaware of their dire situation. "Mommy, I'm hungry," Sophia said, looking up from her drawing. Anna forced a smile. "We'll eat soon, sweetheart. Let me just find a good spot to park for the night." 3 weeks had passed since they'd been evicted from their apartment. 3 weeks since Anna's boyfriend Marcus had walked out, taking half their savings. 3 weeks since she'd lost her waitressing job, when the restaurant suddenly closed. Everything had collapsed at once. Anna drove slowly through the wealthy part of town, where the streets were quieter and safer. Large houses with manicured lawns lined both sides of the road. She discovered that fancy neighborhoods had fewer police patrols looking for people sleeping in their cars. "Can we go back to our house soon?" Sophia asked, a question that cut through Anna like a knife. "Not yet, baby. Remember, we're on an adventure. Like camping." Sophia nodded but didn't look convinced. At 7, she understood more than Anna wished she did. As night fell, the temperature dropped. Anna parked at the end of a cul-de-sac beneath a large oak tree. She helped Sophia change into her pajamas and tucked her in with the 2 blankets they had. Once Sophia fell asleep, Anna allowed herself to cry silently in the front seat. She must have dozed off because a sharp knock on the window jolted her awake. Anna's heart raced as she saw an elderly man peering in, using the light from his phone to see inside. Terrified, she quickly started the car. "Wait," the man called out. "I'm not going to hurt you. I live right there." He pointed to a large stone mansion at the edge of the cul-de-sac. "You can't sleep out here. It's going to drop below freezing tonight." Anna rolled down her window just an inch. "We're fine, thank you. We'll be moving along." The old man sighed. "Look, I have a heated garage apartment. Nobody uses it. You and your daughter can stay there tonight instead of freezing in this car." Anna studied him closely. He was tall and thin, with a full head of white hair. He leaned on a wooden cane and wore an expensive-looking sweater. His eyes were kind but sad. "I don't have money to pay you," Anna said quietly. "I didn't ask for money," he replied. "The name's Ernesto Delgado. I've got more space than I know what to do with since my wife passed." "That garage has been empty for years." Anna hesitated. Every warning bell in her head told her not to trust a stranger, but Sophia shivered in her sleep and the car was already cold. "Just for tonight," Anna finally said. "We'll be gone in the morning." Ernesto nodded. "Follow me in your car. You can park right inside the garage." Anna carefully drove behind him as he walked slowly up the driveway. The garage was separate from the main house, connected by a covered walkway. Ernesto pressed a button, and the large door opened to reveal a spacious 3-car garage with only one luxury sedan parked inside. "The apartment's up those stairs," Ernesto said, pointing to a door at the back. "It's small, but it's warm." Anna gently woke Sophia, who looked around in confusion. "Where are we, Mommy? This nice man is letting us stay in his garage apartment tonight because it's too cold in the car." Sophia rubbed her eyes and looked at Ernesto. "Like a hotel?" Ernesto chuckled. "Something like that, young lady." The apartment was simple but clean. It had a small living area with a pull-out couch, a kitchenette, and a bathroom. The heat was already on, and warm air flowed from the vents. "There are clean sheets in the closet. Bathroom should have everything you need. Kitchen's stocked with some basics," Ernesto said. "I'll leave you 2 to get settled." "Thank you," Anna said, feeling overwhelmed by his kindness. "We really appreciate this." Ernesto waved his hand dismissively. "No one should sleep in a car when it's this cold. Get some rest." After he left, Anna tucked Sophia into the pull-out bed and took a hot shower, her first in days. The warm water brought tears to her eyes. How had her life fallen apart so completely? When morning came, Anna woke Sophia early. "We need to go, sweetie. Get your things together." Sophia pouted. "But it's warm here, and there's cereal." Anna sighed. "I know, but we can't impose on Mr. Ernesto." As they were packing their few belongings, a knock came at the door. Ernesto stood there with a tray of coffee and hot chocolate. "Thought you might want something warm before heading out," he said. "That's very kind, but we were just leaving," Anna replied. Ernesto set the tray down on the small table. "Actually, I was thinking this place is just sitting empty. If you need somewhere to stay until you get back on your feet, you're welcome to it." Anna stared at him in disbelief. Why would you do that for strangers? Because I have the means to help and you seem like you could use it. He paused. My daughter would be about your age now. Would be? Anna asked. We haven't spoken in 15 years, Ernesto said, his voice heavy with regret. Terrible argument. She moved across the country, doesn't answer my calls. Sophia appeared beside Anna. Can we stay, Mommy? Please? Anna looked from her daughter to the old man. I couldn't accept charity. I'd need to pay rent or work. Keep the place tidy, Ernesto interrupted. That's all I ask, and maybe join me for tea occasionally. This house gets awfully quiet. Against her better judgment, Anna agreed. Just until I find a job and save enough for a deposit on an apartment. Ernesto smiled. Take all the time you need. The days turned into weeks. Anna found part-time work at a local bookstore, and Sophia started attending the neighborhood school. Every evening, Ernesto would invite them to the main house for tea. At first, these visits were awkward and brief, but gradually, Ernesto began to open up. My wife, Gloria, loved this house, he said one evening as they sat in his grand living room. We bought it when I sold my first company. She decorated every inch herself. How long has she been gone? Anna asked gently. 23 years now. Cancer. Ernesto's eyes grew distant. After she died, our daughter Camila blamed me. Said I worked too much. Didn't notice the symptoms early enough. Sophia sat on the floor playing with a set of wooden blocks Ernesto had found in the attic. These were Camila's, he'd told her. What about Sophia's father? Ernesto asked Anna one evening. Anna tensed. Marcus wasn't Sophia's biological father, though he was the only dad she knew. Her real father left when I told him I was pregnant. And Marcus? We were together for 5 years. I thought we were happy, but he was cheating. When I confronted him, he left, cleaned out our joint account on the way out. Ernesto frowned. Some men don't deserve the families they have. As October arrived, Anna noticed Ernesto growing frailer. He coughed more often and sometimes struggled with his cane. Have you seen a doctor? She asked one morning when she found him wheezing in the kitchen. Doctors just tell me what I already know. I'm old, he replied dismissively. Anna started cooking meals for him, making sure he ate properly. Sophia would read to him from her school books, delighting in showing off her improving skills. For his part, Ernesto seemed to come alive in their presence. He told stories about his business ventures, his travels with Gloria, and the childhood adventures of Camila. You remind me of her, he told Anna one evening. Same determination. One night, after Sophia had gone to bed, Ernesto handed Anna an envelope. What's this? She asked. Open it. Inside was a check for $5,000. I can't accept this, Anna said immediately, trying to hand it back. It's not charity, Ernesto insisted. It's an investment in Sophia's education. Put it in a college fund. Ernesto, this is too much. Anna, he interrupted, his voice suddenly serious. I have more money than I could spend in 3 lifetimes. No one to leave it to. My daughter made it clear she wants nothing from me. You could reconcile, Anna suggested. Ernesto shook his head sadly. I've tried. Letters, calls, emails, all unanswered. In the garage apartment that night, Anna stared at the check. Part of her wanted to tear it up, but another part recognized what it could mean for Sophia's future. The next morning, Anna knocked on Ernesto's door to take him breakfast as usual. There was no answer. She knocked again, louder this time. Ernesto, she called out. Are you okay? Concerned, she tried the door and found it unlocked. The house was silent as she entered. Ernesto, she called again, moving through the grand foyer. In the living room, she found his cane lying on the floor, but no sign of Ernesto. She checked the kitchen, his bedroom, the study, all empty. His car was still in the garage. Anna's heart raced as she called his cell phone. It rang from somewhere in the house. She was about to call 911 when she heard cars pulling into the driveway. Looking out the window, Anna saw 2 police cruisers. A well-dressed woman emerged from a black SUV behind them. The doorbell rang and Anna hurried to answer it. Can I help you? She asked the 2 officers standing there. We're looking for Ernesto Delgado, the taller officer said. And you are? Ana Martinez. I'm staying in the garage apartment. Ernesto lets us live there. The woman from the SUV pushed forward. Where is my father? She demanded. Anna's eyes widened. You're Camila? Yes, and I want to know what you've done with him, Camila snapped. I haven't done anything. I came to bring him breakfast and can't find him anywhere. His cane is on the floor in the living room. The officers exchanged glances and entered the house. We'll need to look around, Mom. Of course, Anna agreed, following them inside. I'm worried about him too. Camilla grabbed Anna's arm. How convenient that you, a complete stranger, are living on my father's property and now he's missing. Anna pulled away. I'm not a stranger to him. We've become friends. Friends? Camilla laughed bitterly. My father doesn't have friends. He has people who want his money. The officers returned from searching the house. No sign of Mr. Delgado, but we did find this, the shorter one said, holding up a document. Anna gasped when she saw her name on what appeared to be a will. What is that? She asked. Camilla snatched the paper. It appears my father has left you a considerable sum in his will. How interesting. I didn't know anything about a will, Anna protested. I'm just worried about where he is. We'll need to file a missing persons report, the taller officer said. How long have you been living here, Ms. Martinez? About 2 months, Anna replied. My daughter and I. You have a child living here too? Camilla interrupted. Yes, my daughter Sophia. She's 7. Ernesto adores her. Camilla's face hardened. Officers, I want this woman and her child removed from my father's property immediately. This is Ernesto's house, Anna argued. Only he can ask us to leave. We can't force you to leave without an eviction notice, the officer explained to Camilla. But we will be investigating your father's disappearance thoroughly. After the police and Camilla left, Anna rushed back to the garage apartment where Sophia was still sleeping. Her mind raced with worry for Ernesto and fear for their future. What had happened to him? And why was her name in his will? As Anna packed a small bag for Sophia in case they were forced to leave, she noticed something strange behind the old heater, a small metal box that hadn't been there before. She pulled it out and saw Ernesto's initials engraved on the top, ED. The box was locked, but taped to the inside of the lid was a folded piece of paper. Anna carefully removed it and read the shaky handwriting. If you're reading this, it means I was right about them. Anna's hands trembled as she read the note again. If you're reading this, it means I was right about them. What did Ernesto mean? Who were they? And where was he now? She tried to open the metal box, but it was firmly locked. There was no key in sight. Anna carefully tucked the box and note into her bag, just as Sophia stirred awake. Good morning, Mummy, Sophia said, rubbing her eyes. Is Mr. Ernesto coming for breakfast? Anna sat on the edge of the bed. Sweetie, Mr. Ernesto isn't home right now. We don't know where he is. Sophia's eyes widened. Is he lost? Maybe, Anna said gently. Some police officers came to look for him and... She paused, unsure how much to share with her daughter. And what, Mummy? And his daughter Camilla is here. Remember how Mr. Ernesto told us about her? Sophia nodded. The one who doesn't talk to him anymore. That's right, she's very worried about her dad, but she's also a little angry that we're staying here. Sophia frowned. But Mr. Ernesto said we could stay. I know, honey. It's complicated. Anna kissed Sophia's forehead. Let's get you ready for school. After dropping Sophia at school, Anna returned to find Camilla waiting in the driveway. She was tall and elegant, dressed in an expensive pantsuit. Though in her 40s, Camilla looked much younger, with the same deep brown eyes as her father. We need to talk, Camilla said coldly. Anna nodded. I want to find Ernesto as much as you do. They sat at the kitchen table in the main house, an uncomfortable silence between them. How exactly did you meet my father? Camilla finally asked. Anna explained how Ernesto had found them sleeping in their car and offered them shelter. And he asked for nothing in return? Camilla's voice dripped with skepticism. Just to keep the place clean and have tea with him sometimes, Anna replied. He was lonely. Camilla laughed harshly. My father is many things, but a charitable saint isn't one of them. There must be something you're not telling me. I've told you everything, Anna insisted. Ernesto has been nothing but kind to us. Ernesto? Camilla raised an eyebrow. Already on a first-name basis with a man old enough to be your grandfather? Anna took a deep breath. He asked me to call him that. Look, I understand you're worried, but do you? Camilla interrupted. My father is 78 years old, worth millions, and suddenly disappears after befriending a young single mother who just happens to be named in his will. Excuse me if I'm suspicious. The front door opened, and a man in an expensive suit walked in. He was in his late 40s, with salt and pepper hair and cold blue eyes. Camilla, have the police found anything? He asked, then noticed Anna. Who's this? This is Anna Martinez, the woman I told you about, Camilla said. Anna, this is my husband, Richard Blackwood. Richard extended his hand with a practiced smile that didn't reach his eyes. Ah, the garage tenant. I've heard all about you. Something about his tone made Anna uneasy. I was just telling Camilla how worried I am about Ernesto. We all are, Richard said smoothly. My father-in-law and I may have had our differences, but family is family. Camilla checked her watch. I have a meeting with our lawyer in an hour. Richard, can you stay here and coordinate with the police? Richard nodded. Of course, darling. After Camilla left, Richard's demeanor changed subtly. He poured himself a drink from Ernesto's liquor cabinet and sat across from Anna. So, tell me the real story, he said, his voice lower. What's your angle here? Anna stiffened. I don't have an angle. Ernesto helped us when no one else would. Richard chuckled. Come on, we're both adults. Ernesto Delgado doesn't do anything without a reason. What did he want from you? Company, Anna said simply. Someone to talk to. Richard studied her for a moment. You know, there's a lot of money at stake here. If you cooperate, there could be something in it for you. Cooperate with what? Anna asked, confused. When Ernesto turns up, and he will, it would be better for everyone if you weren't mentioned in his will. Anna stood up, anger rising. Are you trying to bribe me? I didn't even know I was in his will until yesterday. Richard raised his hands in mock surrender. No need to get upset. I'm just suggesting an arrangement that benefits everyone. The only thing that would benefit everyone is finding Ernesto, Anna said firmly. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to get to work. At the bookstore where Anna worked part-time, she couldn't focus. Her mind kept returning to Ernesto's note. If you're reading this, it means I was right about them. Was he referring to Camilla and Richard? Her boss, Martha, a kind woman in her 60s, noticed her distraction. Everything okay, dear? You seem a million miles away. Anna hesitated, then decided to confide in Martha. She explained the situation with Ernesto, the metal box, and Camilla's suspicions. Martha's eyes widened. Wait, your landlord is Ernesto Delgado? The Ernesto Delgado? You know him? Anna asked, surprised. Of him, not personally. Everyone in town knows about the Delgado fortune. He built that tech company from nothing, sold it for a fortune about 20 years ago. Martha lowered her voice. There were rumors back then about his business partner who died suddenly. Some said Ernesto had something to do with it, but nothing was ever proven. Anna felt a chill. What happened to the partner? Car accident, I think. But listen, Anna, be careful. Rich families like that have secrets they'll do anything to protect. When Anna picked up Sophia from school that afternoon, she was surprised to see a police car waiting in the parking lot. Officer Rodriguez, one of the officers from that morning, approached them. Ms. Martinez, we'd like to ask you a few more questions about Mr. Delgado. Sophia clutched Anna's hand tighter. Is Mr. Ernesto okay? Officer Rodriguez smiled kindly at Sophia. We're still looking for him, sweetheart, but I'm sure he's fine. At the police station, Anna sat in a small interview room, while Sophia colored in the waiting area under the watchful eye of a female officer. Ms. Martinez, can you tell me about your relationship with Mr. Delgado? Officer Rodriguez asked. Anna repeated her story about how they met and the arrangement they had. And you had no knowledge of being included in his will? None, Anna insisted. I was as shocked as everyone else. Officer Rodriguez nodded, making notes. Mr. Delgado's daughter seems to think you might have influenced her father unduly. Anna felt her face flush with anger. That's ridiculous. I never asked Ernesto for anything. Yet he gave you and your daughter a place to stay and apparently named you in his will. Because he's a kind man who was lonely, Anna said defensively. His daughter hadn't spoken to him in 15 years by his own account. The officer leaned forward. Miss Martinez, did Mr. Delgado ever mention feeling threatened by anyone? Any concerns about his safety? Anna thought about the note. Should she mention the metal box? Something held her back. No, she said finally. He never mentioned anything like that. After the interview, Anna took Sophia for ice cream to lift their spirits. As they sat at a table by the window, Sophia looked up from her chocolate sundae. Mommy, are we going to have to leave Mr. Ernesto's garage? Anna sighed. I don't know, sweetheart. His daughter Camilla might want us to. But where will we go? Sophia asked, her eyes filling with tears. Don't worry about that, Anna said, forcing a smile. We'll figure it out. A shadow fell across their table. Anna looked up to see an elderly woman standing there, elegantly dressed with silver hair pulled into a tight bun. Excuse me, the woman said. I couldn't help overhearing. Are you talking about Ernesto Delgado? Anna tensed. Yes. Do you know him? The woman nodded. I'm Eleanor Patterson. I've known Ernesto for over 40 years. May I join you? Anna hesitated, then gestured to the empty chair. Eleanor sat down, her posture perfect. I heard Ernesto is missing, Eleanor said quietly. It's all over town. Yes, Anna confirmed. Since yesterday morning. Eleanor studied Anna carefully. And you're staying in his garage apartment? With your daughter? That's right. I'm Anna and this is Sophia. Eleanor smiled at Sophia. What a beautiful name. It was Ernesto's mother's name, you know. Sophia's eyes widened. Really? Mr. Ernesto never told me that. He wouldn't have, Eleanor said softly. It was too painful for him. He adored his mother. Anna leaned forward. Mrs. Patterson, did you know Ernesto's wife, Gloria? Of course we were best friends. Eleanor's eyes grew distant. Her death destroyed him, and then to lose Camilla too. What exactly happened between them? Anna asked. Ernesto never gave details. Eleanor sighed. After Gloria died, Ernesto threw himself into his work. Camilla felt abandoned. She was just 19, grieving her mother. Then there was that business with Ernesto's partner, James Miller. Anna's interest piqued. Martha at the bookstore mentioned something about a partner who died. Eleanor nodded. James died in a car accident. There were implications that Ernesto might have been involved. Camilla believed the rumors. That was the final straw for her. But it wasn't true, Anna asked. Of course not, Eleanor said firmly. Ernesto could be ruthless in business, but he would never harm anyone. James was like a brother to him. Sophia, bored with the adult conversation, returned to her ice cream. Anna lowered her voice. Mrs. Patterson, do you have any idea where Ernesto might have gone? Eleanor shook her head. No, but I'm worried. Ernesto has a heart condition. He needs his medication daily. Anna felt a surge of panic. He never mentioned a heart condition to me. He wouldn't. Ernesto hates appearing weak. Eleanor reached into her purse and pulled out a business card. If you hear anything, please call me. And be careful, dear. Camilla and that husband of hers, they've been waiting a long time to get their hands on Ernesto's fortune. That night, after Sophia was asleep, Anna examined the metal box again. Without the key, she couldn't open it. What secrets did it contain? She ran her fingers along the seam, feeling for any weakness. Suddenly she heard footsteps outside the garage apartment. Anna froze, listening. Someone was definitely there. She quietly moved to the window and peeked through the curtains. A figure was moving around in the darkness, searching for something. Anna's heart pounded as she reached for her phone to call 911. Just then the figure looked up, and the security light illuminated his face. It was Richard, Camilla's husband. Anna quickly ducked away from the window. What was he doing prowling around the garage at night? She watched as he seemed to be examining the ground, as if looking for something. After a few minutes, he left, heading back toward the main house. The next morning, Anna woke to the sound of more vehicles in the driveway. Looking out, she saw 2 more police cars and what looked like a crime scene van. Her stomach dropped. She quickly dressed and hurried outside, where Officer Rodriguez was speaking with Camilla and Richard. All 3 turned to look at her as she approached. What's happening? Anna asked, dread filling her voice. Officer Rodriguez's face was grim. We found blood in Mr. Delgado's study. Quite a lot of it hidden under the rug. The lab is testing it now, but you think it's Ernesto's, Anna finished, feeling sick. Camilla was crying, leaning against Richard for support. Richard's face was appropriately solemn, but Anna noticed his eyes remained cold and calculating. Ms. Martinez, Officer Rodriguez continued, we're going to need to search your apartment now. Of course, Anna agreed. Sophia's still sleeping, but... Actually, Richard interrupted, we'd prefer if you both vacated the premises during the search. This is now potentially a crime scene. Anna felt trapped. I need to get Sophia ready for school. Can it wait an hour? This can't wait, Camilla said sharply through her tears. My father could be dead and you're worried about school? Officer Rodriguez looked uncomfortable. Ms. Martinez, if you could gather what you need for the day and step out, we'd appreciate it. This shouldn't take long. Anna reluctantly agreed. She went back to wake Sophia and packed a small bag with essentials. As they were leaving, Sophia clutched her favorite stuffed rabbit that Ernesto had given her. Mommy, are we going to find Mr. Ernesto today? She asked innocently. Anna hugged her daughter close. I hope so, baby. I really hope so. They spent the morning at a local cafe. Anna kept checking her phone, waiting for word that they could return. Around noon, she received a text from Officer Rodriguez. Search complete. You can return to the apartment. When they arrived back at Ernesto's property, something felt different. The police cars were gone, but an officer remained stationed at the front gate. He checked Anna's ID before letting them through. As they approached the garage, Anna noticed the door to their apartment was ajar. Inside, she found chaos. Drawers had been emptied, cushions overturned, even Sophia's toys scattered across the floor. What happened? Sophia cried, running to check on her things. Anna was stunned. This wasn't a careful police search, this was destruction. She immediately looked for the metal box she'd hidden in her backpack, but it was gone. They took it, she whispered to herself. Took what, Mummy? Sophia asked, picking up her scattered crayons. Before Anna could answer, Camilla appeared in the doorway. The police found nothing suspicious, she said coldly. But I want you out of here by tomorrow. I've spoken to my lawyer, and as Ernesto's next of kin, I have the right to evict you. You can't do that, Anna protested. We have nowhere to go. Not my problem, Camilla replied. And by the way, whatever scheme you had going with my father won't work. The will naming you is outdated. He made a new one last year. Anna felt her world spinning. I told you, I didn't know anything about any will. I just want to know what happened to Ernesto. Camilla's expression hardened. Well, the police think someone attacked him in his study, and you were the only other person here that night. You can't seriously think I had something to do with this, Anna gasped. The police will figure it out, Camilla said with a shrug. In the meantime, be gone by noon tomorrow. After Camilla left, Anna sat on the edge of the bed, trying not to break down in front of Sophia. Where would they go? Back to the car? And what about Ernesto? Was he really dead? As Sophia sorted through her belongings, she suddenly called out, Mommy, look! Mr. Bunny is talking to me! Anna turned to see Sophia holding her stuffed rabbit. What do you mean, sweetie? Sophia squeezed the rabbit's stomach. He's making a funny noise. Listen. Anna took the rabbit and pressed its middle. There was indeed a crinkling sound, like paper. She carefully examined the toy and found a small seam that had been re-stitched on its back. Anna gently opened the seam and reached inside. Her fingers touched something cool and metallic. She pulled it out. A small key. Sophia, where did you get this rabbit again? Mr. Ernesto gave it to me last week, Sophia said. He said Mr. Bunny would always protect me. Anna stared at the key, her mind racing. It had to be for the metal box that was now missing. But why would Ernesto hide a key in Sophia's toy? What was in that box that was so important? Just then her phone rang. It was an unknown number. Anna answered cautiously. Hello? Anna? The voice was weak, but unmistakable. It's Ernesto. Don't react. Don't tell anyone you've heard from me. I'm alive, but I need your help. Ernesto, Anna whispered, her heart racing. Where are you? Are you hurt? Listen carefully. Ernesto's voice was strained. I don't have much time. I'm at Eleanor Patterson's house. Can you come here without being followed? Anna glanced at Sophia, who was still organizing her scattered toys. I think so, but I have Sophia with me. Bring her. Eleanor loves children, but make sure no one sees you leave. Ernesto, what happened? There's blood in your study. The police think... I know what they think, he interrupted. I'll explain everything when you get here. Be careful, Anna. Trust no one. The line went dead. Anna stared at her phone, torn between relief that Ernesto was alive and fear about what was happening. She pocketed the small key from Sophia's rabbit and knelt beside her daughter. Sophia, we need to go visit a friend of Mr. Ernesto's. Can you put some clothes in your backpack, just like our camping adventure? Sophia looked up, confused. Are we not coming back here? Anna hesitated. I'm not sure, sweetie. Let's just be prepared, okay? While Sophia packed, Anna peered out the window. Richard's car was parked in front of the main house, and she could see Camilla talking with someone in a suit, probably her lawyer. They needed to leave without being seen. Anna remembered that the garage had a back door that led to a path through the garden. If they took that route, they could reach the street behind the property without passing the main house. Ready? Anna asked, shouldering her bag. Sophia nodded, clutching Mr. Bunny. Ready, Mummy. They slipped out the back door and hurried along the garden path. Anna's heart pounded with each step, expecting to hear Camilla or Richard call out, but they made it to the back gate unseen and emerged onto a quiet residential street. Anna pulled up Eleanor's address on her phone. It was about a mile away, walkable but not with a 7-year-old in tow. She called for a rideshare, careful to set the pickup location a block away from where they were. During the short ride, Sophia stared out the window, unusually quiet. Are you okay, sweetheart? Anna asked, squeezing her hand. Is Mr. Ernesto in trouble? Sophia asked softly. Anna nodded. I think he might be, but we're going to help him. Eleanor Patterson lived in a modest but elegant townhouse in an older part of town. Anna paid the driver and hurried up the front steps with Sophia. Before she could ring the bell, Eleanor opened the door. Thank goodness you're here, the older woman said, ushering them inside quickly. He's been so worried. Eleanor led them through a tastefully decorated living room to a small study at the back of the house. There, sitting in an armchair with a blanket over his legs, was Ernesto. He looked pale and tired, with a bandage visible at his temple. "Mr. Ernesto!" Sophia cried, running to him. Ernesto's face lit up as he embraced the little girl. "Sophia, my dear, I've missed you." Anna hung back, taking in the scene. "What happened to you? Everyone thinks you're dead," Ernesto sighed. "I nearly was. Please, sit down. I'll explain everything." Eleanor brought tea and cookies, settling Sophia in the kitchen with a coloring book before rejoining them. Anna noticed that Ernesto's hands trembled as he held his cup. "2 nights ago," he began, "I was in my study when Richard came to see me. He said he wanted to discuss some investment opportunities, but I knew better. For months he's been pressuring me to sign over control of my remaining companies to him." "Camilla's husband?" Anna asked, though she already knew the answer. Ernesto nodded. "Richard married my daughter for her inheritance, not for love. I've known that for years, but Camilla refuses to see it." "What happened in the study?" Anna pressed. "We argued. I told him I had changed my will, cutting him out completely." Ernesto touched the bandage on his head. "He lost control, grabbed a paperweight from my desk and hit me. I fell, hit my head on the corner of the desk as well. There was so much blood." Anna gasped. "He tried to kill you." "He thought he had," Ernesto continued. "I heard him on the phone, telling someone to come help clean up a mess. I knew I had only minutes. Despite the blood and dizziness, I managed to get to the garage apartment. I knew you were at work and Sophia at school. That's where you left the metal box," Anna realized. Ernesto's eyes widened. "You found it? Do you have it?" Anna shook her head. "It was taken during the police search today, but I found the key in Sophia's rabbit." Ernesto slumped back in his chair. "Then we're in serious trouble. That box contains evidence against Richard. Financial records showing he's been embezzling from my companies for years, plus a video recording from my study the night he attacked me." "You have security cameras in the house?" Anna asked. "Just in the study where I keep important documents," Ernesto explained. "I installed them after I suspected Richard was searching my files when I wasn't home." Eleanor, who had been listening quietly, spoke up. "Ernesto called me that night, barely conscious. I picked him up a block from the house. He's been here ever since, recovering." "Why didn't you go to the police?" Anna asked. "Because Richard has friends in the department," Ernesto said grimly. "The detective in charge of financial crimes, Davis, is his golf partner. I needed to be careful about who to trust." Anna thought about Officer Rodriguez and wondered if he could be trusted. "We need to find that box," she said firmly. "It's not just the box," Ernesto said. "There's something else Richard wants, something much more valuable." "What?" Anna asked. "The formula," Eleanor interjected. "Tell her, Ernesto." Ernesto sighed. "Before I sold my main company, I developed a revolutionary battery technology. It could power electric vehicles for 1,000 miles on a single charge and last for 20 years. It would change everything: transportation, energy storage, power grids." "Why didn't you release it?" Anna asked, fascinated. "Because the oil companies offered me a fortune to bury it," Ernesto admitted, shame evident in his voice. "I was younger then, focused only on wealth. I took their money and locked the formula away." "But now you want to release it," Anna guessed. Ernesto nodded. "It's my redemption. I've been working in secret to update the technology. It's finally ready, and I've arranged to donate it to a non-profit research institute next week. Richard somehow found out and wants to sell it to the highest bidder instead." Anna absorbed this information, understanding now why Ernesto had taken such an interest in her and Sophia. He was trying to right a wrong, to leave a better legacy. "The formula," Anna said slowly. "Is it in the metal box too?" "No," Ernesto replied. "It's somewhere much safer, but the key to finding it is in that box." Anna stood up, determined. "Then we need to get it back. Camilla ordered us to leave by noon tomorrow. Richard probably has the box now." Eleanor looked alarmed. "You can't go back there. Richard is dangerous." "I have to," Anna insisted. "They think I had something to do with Ernesto's disappearance, and besides, all our things are there." Ernesto reached for her hand. "Anna, I never meant to put you and Sophia in danger. When I offered you my garage apartment, I had no idea things would go this far." "We were sleeping in our car, Ernesto," Anna reminded him gently. "You saved us. Now it's our turn to help you." They formed a plan. Anna would return to the garage apartment to pack their belongings, using it as an opportunity to search for the metal box. Meanwhile, Eleanor would take Sophia to her sister's house in the next town, safely away from any danger. "But I want to help find Mr. Ernesto's special box," Sophia protested when they told her the plan. Ernesto smiled at her. You already helped by keeping the key safe in Mr. Bunny. Now I need you to be brave and go with Mrs. Eleanor. Can you do that for me?" Sophia nodded solemnly. "I can be brave." Before they left, Ernesto pressed a folded piece of paper into Anna's hand. "If anything happens to me, take this to James Miller's son. He's a lawyer in the city. He'll know what to do." "James Miller? Your business partner who died?" Anna asked, remembering Eleanor's story. Ernesto's eyes filled with sadness. "Yes, his death wasn't an accident, Anna, and I fear the same people who were responsible are now after me." The implications of his words sent a chill through Anna. Was Richard involved? No, this was long before Richard, but the same interests are at stake, the battery technology. Ernesto squeezed her hand. "Be careful, Anna. If you can't find the box, just leave. Your safety is more important." Anna hugged Sophia goodbye, fighting back tears as Eleanor led her away. "I'll see you soon, sweetheart. Be good for Mrs. Eleanor." Back at Ernesto's property, Anna approached cautiously. It was early evening, and the main house was lit up. Through the windows she could see Camilla and Richard hosting what appeared to be a small gathering. Several well-dressed people stood in the living room with drinks in hand. "Perfect," Anna murmured to herself. With them distracted by guests, she might have a chance to search. She used her key to enter the garage apartment and quickly began packing their belongings. Where would Richard have hidden the metal box? Not in the main house, where police might still be investigating. Perhaps somewhere in the garage itself. Anna finished packing and slipped out to the main garage area. Ernesto's luxury sedan was still parked there, untouched since his disappearance. She searched carefully around the workbenches and storage cabinets, finding nothing. Just as she was about to give up, she noticed a small door at the back of the garage. It was locked, but on a hunch Anna tried the key from Sophia's rabbit. To her surprise, it worked. The door opened to reveal a small storage room filled with old boxes and furniture. Anna used her phone's flashlight to search the space. Behind a stack of old paintings, she found a safe embedded in the wall. The key wouldn't work on this, of course, but then she noticed something odd. The safe door was slightly ajar. Heart pounding, Anna pulled it open. Inside was the metal box, apparently tossed there hastily. She grabbed it and tried the key. It opened easily. Inside were several USB drives, a small recorder, and a folder of documents. Anna quickly photographed several pages of the documents with her phone, then closed the box and put it back in the safe exactly as she had found it. Whoever had hidden it there, presumably Richard, might check on it, and she didn't want them to know she'd discovered it. As she was leaving the storage room, Anna heard voices approaching the garage. She quickly locked the storage room door and ducked behind Ernesto's car. "I'm telling you, it has to be here somewhere." Richard's voice echoed in the garage. "He wouldn't have left town without it." "The police searched everywhere," came Camilla's frustrated reply. "If there was a copy of this miraculous battery formula, they would have found it." "The police weren't looking for that," Richard said impatiently. "They were looking for evidence of foul play. Besides, your father was paranoid. He would have hidden it well." They were moving closer to the storage room. Anna held her breath, praying they wouldn't find her. "What about the girl?" Camilla asked. "Anna, do you think she knows anything?" There was a pause before Richard answered. "Possibly. She spent a lot of time with your father. We should find out what he told her before she leaves tomorrow." "And how do you suggest we do that?" Camilla sounded exasperated. "Leave that to me," Richard replied coldly. Anna's blood ran cold at his tone. She needed to get out of there now. She waited until they moved toward the storage room, then silently crept along the side of the car toward the door to the apartment. Just as she reached for the handle, the lights suddenly came on, flooding the garage with brightness. "Well, well," Richard said from behind her. "Look who's eavesdropping." Anna turned slowly to face them. Richard stood with his hand still on the light switch, Camilla beside him looking shocked. "I was just getting the last of our things," Anna said, gesturing to her bag. "We're leaving tonight, not tomorrow." Richard stepped closer, his eyes narrowed. "What did you hear?" "Nothing," Anna lied. "I just got here." Camilla looked between them, confusion on her face. "Richard, what's going on?" "Your new friend here knows more than she's letting on," Richard said, not taking his eyes off Anna. "Don't you?" Anna backed toward the door. "I don't know what you're talking about. I just came for our belongings." "Where's the little girl?" Richard asked suddenly. "Sophia, isn't it?" The mention of her daughter's name from his lips made Anna's skin crawl. "With a friend. Safe." Richard smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. "No one is safe, Anna. Not until I get what I want." He reached into his jacket and pulled out a gun. "Now where is Ernesto?" Camilla gasped. "Richard, what are you doing?" "Shut up, Camilla," Richard snapped. Your father isn't dead, and she knows where he is. Anna's mind raced. How did he know Ernesto was alive? Had someone seen her at Eleanor's house? I don't know what you're talking about, Anna insisted. The police think Ernesto is dead. The police are idiots, Richard snarled. There wasn't enough blood in that study for a fatal injury, and the security camera footage from that night is missing. Ernesto took it before he disappeared. Camilla stared at her husband in horror. Security camera? Richard, what happened that night? Richard ignored her, keeping the gun pointed at Anna. Last chance, where is he? Anna glanced between them, realizing Camilla had no idea what her husband had done. You should ask Richard what happened to your father, Camilla. Ask him about the paperweight he used to hit Ernesto. Camilla's face went pale. What is she talking about, Richard? For a moment, Richard's attention shifted to his wife. It was the opening Anna needed. She flung her bag at him and bolted for the side door of the garage, the one that led to the garden path. A shot rang out, the bullet splintering the doorframe inches from her head. Anna ran as fast as she could down the garden path, hearing Richard's footsteps pounding behind her. You can't hide from me, he shouted. I'll find Ernesto and that formula if I have to tear this town apart. Anna reached the back gate and fumbled with the latch, her hands shaking with adrenaline. Finally, it opened, and she burst onto the street beyond. Instead of heading toward Eleanor's house, she ran in the opposite direction, hoping to lead Richard away from Ernesto. The streets were dark and quiet in this wealthy neighborhood. Anna ducked between houses, trying to lose her pursuer. She could hear Richard's angry breathing not far behind. He fired again, the shot going wild. The noise would attract attention, which might help her. Anna kept running, her lungs burning. She pulled out her phone to call for help, but dropped it when she jumped over a garden fence. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity, she couldn't hear Richard anymore. Anna crouched behind a large hedge, trying to catch her breath and get her bearings. She was at least a mile from Ernesto's house now, in an unfamiliar part of town. Without her phone, she couldn't call for help or check on Sophia. She needed to get back to Eleanor's house, but first, she had to make sure Richard wasn't following her. Anna waited nearly 30 minutes before cautiously emerging from her hiding place. The neighborhood was still quiet, no police sirens, which seemed strange after gunshots. Perhaps in this wealthy area, people minded their own business. She began walking quickly toward what she hoped was the direction of Eleanor's townhouse. As she passed under a streetlight, a car suddenly pulled up beside her. Anna prepared to run again, but the window rolled down to reveal Officer Rodriguez. Ms. Martinez, what are you doing out here this late? Anna hesitated, unsure if she could trust him, but she was out of options. Officer Rodriguez, she said, her voice shaking. I need your help. Richard Blackwood just tried to kill me. Anna stared at Officer Rodriguez through the car window, her mind racing. Could she trust him? Richard had mentioned having friends in the police department. Get in, Officer Rodriguez said. You look like you've been through hell. Anna hesitated, then made a split-second decision and climbed into the passenger seat. Richard Blackwood tried to shoot me, she said breathlessly. He's looking for Ernesto Delgado, who's alive, not dead. Officer Rodriguez's expression remained neutral as he pulled away from the curb. I figured as much. Not enough blood in that study for a fatal wound. Where is Mr. Delgado now? Anna studied his face carefully. Before I tell you that, I need to know if I can trust you. Richard said he has friends in the police department. He means Detective Davis, Rodriguez replied with disgust. They play golf together at that fancy country club. Davis is head of financial crimes, not homicide. I don't play golf, and I definitely don't like Richard Blackwood. Anna took a deep breath. Ernesto is at Eleanor Patterson's house. Richard attacked him that night in the study. He's after some battery technology Ernesto developed. Rodriguez nodded. I suspected something like that. The whole missing persons case felt wrong from the start. He made a U-turn. I'll take you back to Eleanor's. You'll be safe there until we sort this out. Wait, Anna said urgently. My daughter Sophia is there too. If Richard followed me... Rodriguez immediately pulled over and grabbed his radio. This is Officer Rodriguez. I need units at Eleanor Patterson's residence immediately. Possible armed suspect in the area. As they sped toward Eleanor's townhouse, Anna explained everything. The metal box, the security footage, the battery formula, and Richard's desperate search for it all. So Blackwood tried to kill his father-in-law for this battery technology. Rodriguez shook his head. Some people will do anything for money. Camilla doesn't know, Anna added. She looked shocked when I mentioned what Richard had done. They turned onto Eleanor's street, and Anna's heart sank. Richard's car was parked outside the townhouse. "He's here," she whispered in horror. Rodriguez pulled up a short distance away and drew his weapon. "Stay in the car and lock the doors. Backup is 2 minutes out." "I can't wait," Anna said, already opening her door. "My daughter is in there." Rodriguez caught her arm. "Listen to me. I can't protect you if you run in there. Let me go first." Anna reluctantly agreed. They approached the house cautiously. The front door was slightly open, not a good sign. Rodriguez motioned for Anna to stay back as he entered, gun drawn. Anna waited exactly 30 seconds before following him inside. The living room was in disarray, furniture overturned, a lamp shattered on the floor. She heard voices from the back of the house. Moving quietly through the hallway, Anna reached Eleanor's study. The scene inside made her freeze. Richard stood with his back to the door, gun pointed at Ernesto, who sat pale and defiant in his armchair. Eleanor was beside him, her arm protectively around Sophia. Officer Rodriguez stood a few feet away, his own weapon trained on Richard. "It's over, Blackwood," Rodriguez was saying. "Put the gun down. You're not walking away from this." Richard laughed bitterly. "It's not over until I get that formula. 30 years of research, worth billions, and this old man was going to give it away for free, because it belongs to the world," Ernesto said calmly, despite the gun pointed at him. "Not to oil companies or battery manufacturers." "Where is it?" Richard demanded. "Tell me now, or I start shooting." "Maybe I'll start with the little girl." At the mention of Sophia, Anna stepped into the room. "Leave my daughter alone." Everyone turned at her voice. Sophia's face lit up. "Mommy!" Richard spun around, momentarily distracted. Officer Rodriguez seized the opportunity and lunged forward, tackling Richard to the ground. The gun went off with a deafening bang, the bullet embedding itself in the ceiling. In the chaos that followed, Anna rushed to Sophia, scooping her up as Rodriguez handcuffed a struggling Richard. Eleanor helped Ernesto to his feet, his face pale but determined. "Are you okay?" Anna asked Sophia, checking her for any injuries. Sophia nodded bravely. "Mr. Richard was very angry, but Mr. Ernesto told me to be brave, so I was." Sirens wailed outside as backup arrived. 2 officers entered and took custody of Richard. "You're all fools," Richard spat as they led him away. "Do you have any idea how many powerful people want that technology buried? This isn't over." As the commotion died down, Anna noticed a figure standing in the doorway. Camilla, her face streaked with tears, stared at her father in disbelief. "Dad?" she whispered. "You're alive?" Ernesto looked up, his eyes filling with emotion. "Camilla." For a moment, no one spoke. Then Camilla rushed forward and embraced her father, sobbing against his shoulder. "I thought you were dead," she cried. "And then when Anna said Richard had hurt you, I couldn't believe it, but then I found the bloodied paperweight hidden in his golf bag." Ernesto stroked his daughter's hair. "I'm so sorry, my dear, for everything." Officer Rodriguez cleared his throat. "Mr. Delgado, we'll need a formal statement from you about the attack, and we'll need that security footage." "Of course," Ernesto nodded. "It's all in the metal box. Richard found it in my hiding place but didn't realize what he had. Hannah discovered it earlier tonight." Anna felt a weight lift from her shoulders. It was finally over. Sophia was safe, Ernesto was alive, and Richard would face justice. The next few days passed in a blur of police statements, medical examinations, and media coverage. The story of the reclusive millionaire, his revolutionary battery technology, and the greedy son-in-law who tried to steal it made headlines nationwide. Anna and Sophia temporarily moved into Eleanor's guest room, while Ernesto returned to his mansion with Camilla, who was determined to make up for lost time with her father. A week after Richard's arrest, Ernesto invited Anna and Sophia to the mansion for dinner. When they arrived, they found not just Ernesto and Camilla waiting for them, but also Eleanor and Officer Rodriguez, now introduced simply as Miguel. The dining room was elegant but warm, with candles illuminating the table set with fine china. "This is quite a change from tea in the garage apartment," Anna commented as she helped Sophia into her chair. Ernesto smiled. "Much better company this time." During dinner, Ernesto shared his plans for the battery technology. "The announcement will be next week. We're donating the patents to a non-profit research consortium. It will be available to any company that commits to ethical production and affordable pricing." "The oil companies won't be happy," Miguel noted. "Let them be unhappy," Ernesto shrugged. "It's time for change." After the meal, while Sophia showed Camilla her drawings in the living room, Ernesto took Anna aside to his study, the same room where Richard had attacked him, now restored to order. I owe you everything, he said seriously. Without you and Sophia, I might never have found the courage to do the right thing. Anna shook her head. You saved us first, remember? A warm garage apartment when we had nothing. Ernesto smiled, then grew serious again. Anna, I've been thinking about your future, about Sophia's education, your career aspirations. We'll be fine, Anna assured him. I've already found a small apartment we can afford with my bookstore salary. I have no doubt you'll make your own way, Ernesto said. But I'd like to help if you'll let me. He handed her an envelope. Inside was a deed to a small house not far from Eleanor's neighborhood. I can't accept this, Anna gasped. You can and you will, Ernesto said firmly. Consider it payment for saving my life. Besides, it's not entirely selfless. The house is close enough that Sophia can visit me often. Anna's eyes filled with tears. Ernesto, there's more, he continued. I've established a college fund for Sophia. And if you're interested, Camilla mentioned that she could use help managing the Delgado Foundation we're establishing to oversee the battery technology implementation. Are you offering me a job? Anna asked, stunned. A career, Ernesto corrected, with flexible hours, excellent pay, and work that matters, but only if you want it. Before Anna could respond, Sophia ran into the study, followed by Camilla. Mommy, Miss Camilla says she has horses at her farm and I can come ride them. Camilla smiled apologetically. If that's okay with your mom, of course. Anna looked at the joy on her daughter's face, then at Ernesto and Camilla, this unexpected family they'd found when they had nothing. I think that would be wonderful, she said softly. Later that evening, as Miguel drove them back to Eleanor's house, Anna was quiet, processing everything that had happened. Penny for your thoughts? Miguel asked. Just thinking about how quickly life can change, Anna replied. 3 weeks ago we were sleeping in our car. Now Sophia has a college fund and I have a career opportunity. Miguel glanced at her. And a nice police officer who might like to take you to dinner sometime. Anna laughed, surprised by his directness. Is that what you are, a nice police officer? Most days, he grinned, when I'm not tackling armed criminals or rescuing damsels in distress. I wasn't in distress, Anna countered. I was handling things. Of course you were, Miguel agreed. But even strong, capable women deserve backup sometimes. In the back seat, Sophia had fallen asleep, clutching Mr. Bunny. Anna looked at her daughter's peaceful face, feeling a sense of security she hadn't known in years. Dinner sounds nice, she said softly. 2 months later, Anna stood in the backyard of her new house, watching as Sophia chased butterflies through the small garden they'd planted together. The afternoon sun cast a golden glow over everything, making even the simplest things seem precious. Ernesto sat in a comfortable chair on the patio, looking healthier than he had in months. Next to him, Eleanor arranged cookies on a plate, while Camilla poured lemonade. Miguel was tending the grill, occasionally glancing at Anna with a warm smile. Penny for your thoughts? Ernesto asked, echoing Miguel's question from weeks before. Anna smiled. Just gratitude for all of this. She gestured to the scene around them, this unlikely family they'd formed. I'm the grateful one, Ernesto said. You and Sophia brought life back to an old man's world. You're hardly on your deathbed, Anna teased. In fact, since the battery announcement, you seem younger every day. It was true, since going public with his revolutionary technology, Ernesto had been reinvigorated. The Delgado Foundation was already working with manufacturers worldwide to implement the battery design, with Anna helping to manage communications and Sophia proudly telling everyone her grandpa Nesto was saving the planet. Richard's trial was set for the following month. He had pleaded not guilty, but with the security footage and Ernesto's testimony, conviction seemed certain. Camilla had filed for divorce immediately after his arrest, discovering in the process that he had been embezzling from her trust fund for years. Dad, Camilla called from the patio, are you telling Anna embarrassing stories about me again? Not yet, Ernesto called back, but now that you mention it, there was that time at your 5th birthday party. Anna laughed as Camilla groaned dramatically. Their relationship was healing slowly, with Camilla staying at the mansion several days a week now. She had even started bringing fresh flowers for her mother's portrait in the living room. Sophia ran up to them, breathless with excitement. Mommy, Grandpa Nesto, I found a caterpillar. Miguel says it will turn into a butterfly if we give it a safe place to grow. Anna knelt beside her daughter. That's right, sweetheart. Sometimes all anyone needs is a safe place to grow. Ernesto's eyes met Anna's over Sophia's head, understanding passing between them. From a cold night sleeping in a car to this moment of warmth and family, all because of a garage with the light on, an old man's loneliness, and the courage to trust when trust seemed foolish. Later, as they all sat around the table sharing a meal, Anna looked at the faces of these people who had become her family. Eleanor was telling a story about young Ernesto that had Camilla in stitches. Miguel's hand rested comfortably next to Anna's, occasionally brushing against hers. And Sophia, her beautiful Sophia, was safe, happy and loved, by not just one person now, but many. As the evening wound down, Ernesto raised his glass. "To second chances," he said simply. "To family," Anna added, "the ones we find along the way." Sophia, not to be outdone, raised her cup of juice. "To garages with lights on." They all laughed, but Anna felt the truth of her daughter's toast. Sometimes salvation comes in unexpected forms: a heated garage on a cold night, an old man's kindness, a child's innocent love. As the sun set, casting long shadows across the yard, Anna felt something she hadn't felt in a very long time, the certainty that tomorrow would be better than yesterday, and that whatever came next they would face it together. Miguel squeezed her hand under the table. "Happy?" he asked quietly. Anna looked around at this beautiful, imperfect, unexpected family they'd created. "Yes," she said simply, "very happy." In the distance, the lights of Ernesto's mansion glowed against the darkening sky, including the light above the garage, which Ernesto had promised would always stay on, a beacon for anyone who might need a safe harbor in the storm. The end.